samurai assassins out there. Fat Samurai Guy here with Lady Fat Blood, and today we are going to review Yakuza Apocalypse. Here's a quick plot synopsis.
So apparently, Takashi Miike and some other guy got together and dropped acid, and then they filmed Yakuza Apocalypse. Yeah, that's the synopsis.
Okay, so what we think we got out of the movie is that you have this one Yakuza slash vampire boss, okay, who's a badass with a heart of gold. He takes care of the town and all that while doing his gangster Yakuza vampire-ish things, okay? He gets jumped by a group of individuals that are known to be part of the syndicate, and they want him to come back. He refuses. He says, screw you guys. They kill him, they decapitate him, and then his protege, Kageyama, gets bit by his boss's decapitated head. Yes! Bites him in the neck, changes him into the next Yakuza vampire boss, and then our movie begins. Yeah. That's kind of what I got from the...
I have some questions, Mr. Miike. I have them prepared.
Had to make a list.
Why does the vampire virus turn people into Yakuza vampires? And as an addendum to that, why are they their tongues go into the people's necks, but they don't have the fangs? But at the end, the Yakuza boss suddenly turns into like a traditional, like Bela Lugosi vampire, and he suddenly has fangs. That's question one. Question two. Why do we have a room full of men being tortured, and the ones who show the most resilience gets let go as sacrifices? And an addendum to that, why are there Bible quotes going on in that whole entire scene? Actually, in Miike's sense, I think I know some of that, but we might be able to talk about that one later. Why does Yayan Ruhian's character, the badass assassin, why is he dressed like he's on his way to an anime convention? Why did you make Mad Dog an otaku? Why does the Django type character only speak English throughout the movie? And he's the only one, and everybody understands him, and that's fine. How does the Yakuza brothers disappear and then randomly show up at the end of the film, arriving in a large truck that looks like it's about to be used at a rave concert, but with Gatling guns? This literally just shows up out of nowhere, and we're supposed to be okay with this. I really am okay with it, though. Why does the female Yakuza boss have pus shooting out of her ear after complaining about a sound of drippage throughout the film? And it just pus, just literally, just like her whole head is pus. Why was the crazy drip pus filled head lady, Yakuza boss lady, growing children from the ground? Why is the world's toughest terrorist dressed in a frog suit? And another part, a sub question. Why was it that the badass terrorist in the frog suit was riding a bike with a dead dog in its basket? Why does he eventually strip down out of his frog suit only to be presented as a more sleek and lethal Bruce Lee type of frog suit, like Frog Man with the frog head and
Bruce Lee Frog. Bruce Lee Frog.
Why is it that the Bruce Lee Frog has tape over his belly button, and in the end, that is the only way to defeat Bruce Lee Frog? Gets ripped off, and then he dies.
They rip the tape off. That's how he's defeated.
And this then causes a giant frog-suited man to erupt from a volcano in Mount Fuji and come after the Yakuza boss. And I have a personal question for Mr. Paul Greengrass. Why is it that a fight between a Yakuza vampire boss and a Bruce Lee frog was filmed better and easier to follow and watch than all of your fights in all of your Bourne films. And my final question to Mr. Takashi Miike, when the fuck am I getting a goddamn sequel?
Now, I am more familiar with Mr. Miike's filmography than she is, okay? You've only really seen Audition.
Correct.
Okay? Miike, who's known as, he's one of the most popular cult film directors, as you can see by this movie in Japan. That's his shtick. That's his thing, okay? Very weird, very bizarre type movies. Some of those that have deeper meaning, if you look for it. But Audition is definitely one of his probably the most successful film that crossed over here to America audiences, because it wasn't as batshit insane. Audition is a very entertaining horror film, but very tame compared to Miike's usual type of movies. I really enjoyed the director's cut version of Ichi the Killer. Another very strange, odd movie, but I found it very entertaining. It's bizarre, but I found it very entertaining. So some of his movies are hit or miss for me. Like, I enjoyed Ichi the Killer. I even enjoyed 13 Assassins, which is fucking badass.
I still need to see that.
And which is a very awesome remake, and a solid remake of Harakiri. He did that as well, which is, it's not as good as the original, but it's solid, it's watchable. But he crossed over into serious filmmaking movie territory, so this guy's very talented. There's nothing crazy or batshit insane in 13 Assassins and Harakiri. They're very traditional, serious samurai films, and I was very taken back by that. I was like, whoa, this is the same guy that did fucking Ichi the Killer? Like, what the hell? One of the examples of the miss is Visitor Q, okay? Don't watch Visitor Q, okay? It's fucking weird. And I just didn't really enjoy it. I was just like, what is this? What is this, Miike? I know the film has its fans, but don't watch Visitor Q. I didn't enjoy it at all. So you have Visitor Q and you have Ichi the Killer. Yakuza Apocalypse, for me, kind of falls right in the middle between both of those movies. Now, I watched it first, okay? I took the hit, all right? I watched it first, was completely stunned. My mouth was all the way down to the ground, was completely flabbergasted of what I just watched. And I did find some parts of the film entertaining. I did laugh at a lot of things that were actually meant to be funny. But I had to watch it again. This is one of those movies I had to watch twice.
You had to drag me in.
Yes. So I was just like, you have to see this movie.
So I'm scared at this point.
I didn't tell her anything about it. I didn't say
I'm
anything.
actually legitimately scared at this point, because if he's like, okay, I don't know what to make of it, I need your help, and I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be, and I know Miike's reputation.
Yeah, I needed help.
So going in, I was a little nervous, and I ain't gonna lie, I fucking love this movie.
She ended up loving it. And tell them why.
Okay, because it was one of those immediate, like, I want to say 5 to 10 minutes in, and I got it. It was like, you know what? I don't need my brain for this. I don't need reason. I don't need rationale for any of this. I don't need logic for any of this. And because I slipped so easily into that, the way the tone was set very early on, it didn't bother me that I didn't need any of that. And I think if you can go in and get rid of all of that, get rid of your logical brain, your rational brain, your sane brain.
It's the only way you're gonna make it through.
Turn off your sanity. And I think you might get something out of this. I'm not gonna recommend this for everybody. This is not one of those where it's like, hey, you gotta see this. No, it's like, no, if you can meet this criteria to go into this movie, you might wanna give it a shot. It was just so crazy.
Yeah.
Literally, he kept warning me, this is one character that's going to show up and I'm not going to say anything. And so this guy who's the ultimate assassin shows up and he's in a frog suit. He's in a dragon, okay? Like in a mascot, a really cheap-ass mascot frog outfit. He showed up, I wasn't even mad.
Yeah, my reaction was like, I mean, the movie was already bizarre. It was already weird. But at this point, when the frog assassin, the toughest terrorist, that's what they call them, showed up, just walking in out of nowhere, I was just like, okay, fine, sure, why not?
And you can't.
Fuck it.
You can't. you can't argue with the movie whose badass, whose biggest badass, most horrific, terrorist is a guy in a goofy-looking frog suit, and he needs help walking up and down a flight of stairs. You can't argue with that. You can't.
Badass martial art assassin.
No, you can't get mad at it.
But yet he needs help going up steps and coming down steps.
They're not ashamed of that. They're not even. They embrace it. And I think that's what I really enjoyed about it is that everything that just didn't make any kind of logical sense, they embraced it and they showcased it all.
And don't forget about the frog death stare attack. When somebody pissed him off, all of a sudden his eyes went red.
Basically hypnotoad.
And they're just all like.
So my thoughts on the guys in the cellar that were tied up and that were knitting.
Okay.
My thoughts were that they go through all this pious martyrdom.
Okay.
They're stepping on the foot, and what do? You present the other foot. You don't recoil in pain and scream. You just present the other foot to be stomped on.
Okay.
And then if they're deemed the most pious and the most worthy of being let go, they get killed. I think that's where the whole pure blood comes from.
Okay.
Because remember that was part of the vampires.
Something makes sense.
I know.
What?
Whoa, shit, my brain. Oh God, no. It makes sense because the vampires they kept having this. They kept saying that the vampires you have to drink pure blood.
Okay.
Because if you, it's like the easy part should be to drink the blood of the rival Yakuza or the bad people of the town or whatever.
Right.
Like the bad criminals or whatever.
Okay.
But it taints you. So the vampires need pure blood.
Oh.
And so what happens, they end up, I think that's why they all become Yakuza, is because they're all just drinking each other's bad blood. I don't know.
Yeah,
I had a little bit and then it all went away.
Yeah.
You
went too deep.
Don't try to make sense out of it. But that's the fun of this movie, is that you just don't need it.
Yeah, there's really no real explanation of why the Yakuza vampire boss, Kageyama, when he attacks people, they get turned into Yakuza vampires.
They're not vampires.
Instantly, by the way.
And one of the best parts came out of that were...
That was damn funny.
Yeah.
It was damn funny. We have this sequence where just everyone is just slowly kind of multiplying in the town. Everyone's becoming Yakuza vampires.
Yeah.
And it was just hilarious because you got... The real Yakuza are like, what the fuck is happening? And it was hilarious. Like, the real Yakuza's like going outside and you see
trying to strong arm people, but
and you see these two random dudes kind of walking like tough guys, and they're like, "Hey, stop walking like that. That's our walk." Just random, like a civilian was getting attacked or something like that, and so the Yakuza went to the police for help, and the police are sitting there gambling like they don't give a shit.
Spread out, just like, oh.
And they're like, "Hey, we're fucking Yakuza police now." It's like ridiculous. We're like, we're not doing shit.
Oh.
And I couldn't help but laugh. It's so ridiculous. Now the growing of the children shit, like the pus shooting out of her ear.
The drip,
no idea. No idea.
I wish.
She starts growing like she's pouring milk in the ground.
Into the soil. She's trying to grow children because they need more pure, innocent something.
It was like we need more civilians because we need more civilians because the Yakuza can't survive without civilians, and civilians can't survive without Yakuza kind of taking care of them. It was something strange. Sure, fine.
As you were.
Now let's talk about the action sequences, the fighting sequences. They're solid. They're filmed pretty well. From the beginning towards the middle, the fight sequences are filmed well. It is fun to see Yan, but looking all nerdy and Urkel-y and just what the fuckery otaku style. It's so goofy. It's so goofy.
So beautiful.
But he's still a badass with him fighting in there in his fighting sequences. He's still Yan. He's still Mad Dog from the Raid. Obviously, though, the guy that steals the film is the guy in the fucking frog suit. The frog suit character steals the movie. That's so fucking weird to say that. You know how weird this sounds right now? Fuck the guy from the Raid. The guy in the frog suit stole the movie. And his fight with Kageyama at the end was the best filmed fight. You can see all the fight choreography. Yeah. So fucking weird, man. The best highlight of the movie, though, for us, where we were dying and in tears, was when one of the Yakuza guys challenges the frog guy. And the frog guy jumps up in the air and comes down anime chop style. Like it was filmed, like it was like an anime, and we were dying. Because that was the last thing we were expecting to happen over what the frog guy can do. So there's that. But diehard fans or huge fans of Yayan is probably going to be really disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed, actually, because I wanted more fighting from him. The movie was already fucking bonkers, but I still wanted to see more of him. So if you see him on the cover, or if you're really excited that he's in this movie, you're probably going to be really, really, really disappointed, especially the end finale fight where they just stood there and punched each other. She was fine with it.
Yeah,
I was kind of like, this is too long. This is way too fucking long.
I felt like it was appropriate for what we had been through. But yeah, if you're expecting a showdown between, Mad Dog and this main character, you're not.
But they kind of set it up, though. They had the stare down, and they met with each other, and they kind of set it up that it was going to be this big throwdown. And I think that would have been a cool bonus to the film if we had a really good fight with both of them. But they just stood there, screamed, and punched each other over and over and over again. It felt like fucking 30 minutes.
Probably did about 3 punches too much. 3 or 4 punches too much.
It was way too long.
But I still felt like it fit in with the whole...
The whole movie's batshit crazy.
Yeah.
So by the end of the film, we got kaiju Godzilla-size frog suit guy appearing out of Mount Fuji explodes, and he comes out crushing the city and all that. And then he's coming towards to fight Kageyama, and then at the end, Kageyama's fangs come out.
Turns into proper, traditional vampire.
Right, and his wings come out. And then his girlfriend on the side, bangs the gong to get the fight started, and then he flies up in the air to fight giant kaiju, and the movie's over. So at this point, if you love the movie like she did, you're probably like, no. But even me, who I was kind of like okay with the film, even I was like, oh, well, come on. Like, come on. He can't string us along this whole time in Bonkersville just to cut it down there. I want to see, fuck it. I want to see Yakuza vampire guy with wings flying up fighting kaiju frog-suited man.
I demand.
I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. So, if you're really, really, really into insane, bizarre, strange, doesn't have to make sense to exist type of movies, just fucking bonkers, okay? You will probably enjoy Yakuza Apocalypse, but if you want a regular straight narrative...
If anything that we have just said makes you scratch your head and go,
probably not for you. Probably not for you.
So what was initially fearful viewing of this movie, I went in not knowing what the hell to expect. I came out very happy, a little too giddy. I love this movie a little too much, and in the tradition of Takashi Miike's what the fuckery and this gift to us from the god of insanity himself, Mr. Miike, I give this movie a 10 out of 5.
For me, it's just strange. It's very odd, but I did actually find some entertainment out of it. Some things actually did make me laugh. The frog-suited character, I don't think I'll ever forget. It'll be a long time, but I don't think I'll ever forget a character like that. So for that alone, I give Yakuza Apocalypse 3.3 out of 5 ninja stars. Alright, that's it for today's episode of The Movie Dojo. If you have seen this movie, let us know, please. You have to tell us. Let us know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. And we'd like to give a really huge shout out to Trevino Colley, who was cool enough and badass enough to donate this movie to the show for us to review.
Thank you, Trevino.
We'd like to thank all you guys for watching. You guys rock. And we'll see you guys next time for our next review of Hard Target 2. See you next time.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.